Hey Bears fans, Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys. Here to make a quick mini video about before going into this Vikings game. There will be a game recap after the Vikings game, but just wanted to bring another news update in terms of the Bears and their upcoming game. It seems like Braxton Jones will be out tomorrow due to concussion. And apparently, I guess, he had concussion-like symptoms this morning. I don't know, man. I don't know. Regardless, this isn't good because it puts the Bears' offensive line in even more of a freaking problem. And right now, it seems like the only offensive lineman we could use at left tackle are either Larry Borom or Kieran Amagadaji or whatever. So, what are my quick thoughts on this? Look, man, I don't know what. First things first, let me just be honest. How Braxton Jones has had a concussion, and it's the day before the game. I have no idea why this wasn't reported on, or the Bears didn't release this information that he was in concussion protocol for the week. You think they would do that, but no. The day before a game, they now just say, "Oh yeah, he's got a concussion." And because he was feeling concussion like symptoms today or something. Like, did he get hurt hard in practice? And but realistically, you can't say that because he said that it came from a hit, it came from a hit in the game against the 49ers um last Sunday. So we potentially could have put a player out there that had concussion like symptoms. Now, I don't know if this is actually legit or this is just fake. Now, you can say it's a legit concussion. It also feels like to me that it seems like maybe Braxton Jones' time with Chicago is over with because it seems like to me there must have been a call from upstairs, stop playing him because he keeps getting blown up. Let's see what maybe Karan can give us. Now that's not a good idea because you're putting him in a position going on the road against the Minnesota Vikings, against two of the best defensive ends in the league in either Anderson or Jonathan Grenard. Um, but regardless, and then two, you also have Larry Bourne. So either or, not, but both players are not ideal players you want to go to in a sense. But hey, this is what happens when, Ryan Poles does not build an offensive line and your GM fails to acknowledge it. But he talks about the depth that they have, but the depth behind the starters absolutely sucks. So I don't know what he is talking about and everything. But again, this just goes to show you how bad the offensive line is. You don't have guys that are legitimate staples and you just have middle tier guys. The only legit guy on your offensive line right now is Darnell Wright. Again, if Ryan Poles is still here, he needs to massively invest in the trenches. And he needs to stop going after bargain basement dudes. He needs to stop going from guys that are similar to him. Guys that in a Madden game would be 60 overall. Ryan Poles is probably a 60 overall player in whatever Madden he was on, right? So, regardless, he needs to go after the top tier players. Again, I have no confidence. I had no confidence in Braxton Jones. I think he sucks. It's time to move on with him. He can be here for another year because he's going into a contract year. He's just a swing tackle. And then two, I don't really trust Karan Amagadaji because what has he shown? He's been injured more of the time, and mind you, that's another bad pickup because he never got no training camp reps because he was injured. So that's more malpractice on the not the head coach, the GM for drafting a guy that had injury problems. But because he had a connection to Chicago and he had a connection to the coach during the offseason or during the draft period, that's why you drafted him. Again, another guy that's more like a Ryan Poles than him. And then two, he comes from Yale, an Ivy League school. That's not impressive. So I don't know, man. The Bears just massively have to upgrade their they massively have to upgrade their offensive line. Outside of Darnell Wright, everybody should not be back. Tevin Jenkins may be the exception if you decide to bring him back on a very team-friendly cheap deal. If he's willing to come back on a cheap deal, like maybe 2 years or 3 years, 10 mil, which you're paying him 30 mil over the course, honestly, I think that's fine. I think that's a cheap, free contract you can pay, which, if that's the case, I would pay that. But then again, I would just probably offer him like maybe 1 year, 10 mil, again, another prove it deal to be like, all right, man, can you stay healthy? At least he wouldn't be considered a stopgap because he's solid. And to really, realistically, to be honestly, if you do bring him back, I would move him over to right guard alongside Darnell Wright and see what that pairing does. That pairing has been very successful when they played together. And then I just go find a new left guard. But nope, didn't want to do that. You still need a center and you still need a left tackle. So draft the best, whatever. Draft the best available left tackle. Draft the best available left tackle, and you go on from there. But we'll see. And also in other news, you might want to cross off Ben or not Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn from your head coaching search. He can get an interview. He shouldn't be a final candidate. His defense legitimately let up 38 points. If the Bills don't get called for a phantom holding call, um, if the Bills don't get called for a phantom holding call, they would have dropped 50 on the Lions defense. So that only tells me cross of Aaron Glenn off the list because his defense couldn't stop one of the most hottest offenses in the league. Clearly. The top three candidates for the Bears should be this: Joe Brady, Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel. Those should be the top three candidates. Plain and simple. Those are your top three, and you move. You decide who do you think is the best available coach and who do you think is the best head coach out of the bunch. Obviously, you can say, two of them are really offensive geniuses. The questions lie in if they could be a good head coach, a good leader of men. And also, can they hire the right staff to complement them? Are they going to hire the right defensive coordinator to help them? Are they going to hire the nice other offensive assistant coaches around them? What is their offensive line coach? Who is that going to be? And how's his philosophy? Again, it's like I said before, these are questions that need to be asked. Now, Mike Vrabel, he is an experienced head coach, and again, I and some Bear fans will be turned off if they end up hiring Mike Vrabel, but honestly, I would not be turned off with Mike Vrabel because guess what? He's a head coach. He knows how to be a head coach, and on top of it, he has the attitude of a head coach, and he'd be the type of head coach that legitimately would hold everybody accountable and wouldn't let shit fly. So there's that. Now, maybe the Browns fire Kevin Stefanski. They lost again today to the Chiefs. In a very winnable game for them. If they got better quarterback play, they would have beat the Chiefs, but they didn't. But anyways, maybe if the Browns just are stupid enough, they fire Kevin Stefanski, then I immediately go get Stefanski. I offer him the blank check, and you say, come over here, because we know he's got a solid defense. He honestly could probably bring his entire staff from Cleveland, his DC, his OC, his O-line coach. He could bring them all over here and basically, be fine. Like if he was on the market, I'm like, all right, sorry, but we're giving him the blank check because Kevin Stefanski is a proven head coach. He's a proven head coach, and he's a really damn solid one at that. So, I definitely would 100% be fine with that, but we'll see. We will see. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Braxton Jones is out. Put in the comment section your thoughts. Do you think that this is a legit concussion, or do you think that the Bears made the calls like, we'll just say you're concussed so we can give Karan an opportunity to see what he can prove? Look, I don't blame it. You know, if you're tired of Braxton Jones and what he's given you, move on. Say, sorry, Braxton, but we need to see what we got in this guy. See if he's actually good enough. And what better way to prove it against quality defenses in the Vikings, the Lions, and the Seahawks and the Packers. Yeah, it'll only be 4 games, but at least you see, okay, does he have it, or do we need to just go in the draft and make a decision to go attack him? If they decide to even start Larry Borum, I don't know what they're doing there. That's just telling me they must not feel confident. At that point, you need to go out there and you need to go draft tackle. Regardless, I still think you need to go draft a left tackle. Regardless. And a legit one. A one from these higher Power 5 schools. Not somebody from an FCS, yeah, FCS level school. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. And yeah. Anyways, catch you guys later. Till then, see you guys later. Peace.